Hi everyone, it's Velo here. Welcome to a new video. Today we're talking about The Sims and what existing features should be overhauled or made better or updated. And I'm sorry that I haven't been making that many Sims videos lately. It's been like a few months. But I still want to talk about that stuff, do these kind of topic discussion videos about The Sims rather than cast or just build videos or something like that. And this was a topic that I asked about on Twitter and I got a lot of responses, so it's definitely something people are interested in. I will tweet the link down below so you can see all the answers for yourself, but basically I asked what existing Sims 4 features would you want to see updated, and the point was existing features, not something new added. Of course, there were some brought up that would be like new features overall, but the popular ones that came up were different life stages and making them better, especially babies. Teens were mentioned and young adults were mentioned. Someone mentioned there should be a middle age. I agree with the babies, like babies should definitely be overhauled. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with like the aging system in The Sims 4 currently. But yeah, I'm gonna list some topics that I think are really in the need of an update and that are not as much talked about, because babies we do talk about a lot, and of course some of these things are not like big news, like we know these are an issue, but I've gathered a small list of things that really are visible in my gameplay that affect me, that I would really want updated. The first one, and the one that gave me this idea for this topic, is making sure some of the older traits work together well with the newer expansions and stuff. For example, the vegetarian trait is working with new foods, but the vegetarian safe label isn't there. Like, it hasn't been updated in Discover University, for example, so if you can't tell by the name if a food has meat in it or not, you're totally gambling. And I do quite often play as a vegetarian, and I really don't like when they get the sad moodlets and the uncomfortable moodlets, just because I didn't know if something had meat in it or not. So I would hope, and also I would think that's quite an easy task to do because it doesn't really need anything new. It's an existing trait that just needs a little bit of more detail. And the other trait specifically, which I've noticed is pretty annoying to play with nowadays, is ambitious. Ambitious Sims only want to get promotions, and that makes it so that if you have, for example, a Sim who owns a business like I had, it doesn't count to the ambitious trait at all, because even if they own a very successful business or a vet clinic or something like that, and they keep honing their skills in that area, they're technically unemployed, which like doesn't make sense to me. There should definitely be like a different kind of system to that. So it's really annoying if you don't have a Sim in traditional career. I'm not sure if it works with freelancing. I would think so, because you can get promotions in freelance jobs, but as a business owner, you don't, and that doesn't count towards the ambitions of the Sims at all. The second one on my list is fitness skill, and especially an aspiration for fitness skill. Right now, the only fitness aspiration we have is bodybuilding, which is also like only base game. Like, we've got so many sports and activities since that we really need a new one that's not about bodybuilding and having muscles, but that's about being active, going and playing football or basketball or anything like that, because like bodybuilding, especially for me, it just like feels too kind of extreme, and it's such a narrow aspiration, I feel. Like in real life too, so many people are professional athletes without being bodybuilders, like most of them. Like bodybuilders are only like a small percentage, and I don't like how the aspiration works overall. You have to go to the gym and it's quite like one dimensional. There's not much to do, and most of the new sports that have been added since base game don't count towards that at all. So I don't think it's very good. It needs an update or just a whole new aspiration. Yeah, that's kind of a new thing, but it is based on everything that we already have currently in game, so I thought it was okay. The next thing that was mentioned by the Lucky Ducky is wedding/event overhauls. Especially weddings are really just broken. I feel like they're not working as they were intended to, or if they are, they were planned very, very badly. Sims usually don't sit down during the ceremony. They dance when it's inappropriate, and they never really do what you're supposed to do at weddings, and there's no way to really control or the NPC sims that you've invited. And it's fine for like a house party, but at a wedding, especially if you're doing it like for a let's play or you want to get nice pictures, you would like the guests to sit down, and sometimes they're even like standing right next to the couple and stuff like that. You know how it is. Also, for me at least, weddings are like really laggy, like much more laggier than most events, and I don't really know why. Is it just me? Let me know. But yes, weddings need an overhaul, and maybe some other events too. Let me know if you have something specific in mind. The next item on the list is one of the most frustrating ones that I don't use pretty much at all because it is so annoying, and that is toddlers with high chairs. Like, it's so annoying. Your adult sim needs to put the toddler in the high chair, which usually doesn't work. Then they need to give them food, which usually doesn't work. And if it works, very often the toddler just throws it away and doesn't get any hunger points. Like they're not eating anything, and then you have to do the whole thing again. And it's just so annoying. I don't use high chairs when I play with toddlers, which I like. Overall, I play with toddlers not that much, but I never play with high chairs. They definitely need to overhaul that system somehow, that it is not that bad and so annoying. Like give us a lower kind of chair with like a movable front part. I used to have that. I think like the toddler could sit in it themselves, and then it could be closed so that they can't get off as easily, or something like that, something that they can get on and off from themselves, but that you can also make them stay in, if that makes any sense. And the next item is double beds, also a very known like not working feature, is that scooting over animation when the double bed is pushed against the wall and you would want to have two sims sleep in it. I've seen it work, and it's like this miracle that almost never happens. So it's in the game, but it just never works. And that's really weird, and I just find it really weird that it still hasn't been fixed after being a problem for like years. It would just be so useful for building smaller homes and just realistic gameplay as well. They could even do like some cuddling animations too. I would love something like that added in the game as well. But maybe, hopefully, with Tiny Living coming up, we can maybe get that fixed. I am keeping my fingers crossed because I would really like to have functional double beds like realistically up against the wall. The next suggestion is from Jordan, and it's something that I didn't really think about myself, but when they said it, it made sense. And it is woodworking. It would be great to have like change color option for the pieces that you've made with the woodworking table, and to have like more pieces overall. I don't really use that item because it's not that great the result. You only get a few base game items, and that would really be something that would benefit if it got updated with some stuff from the newer packs. It doesn't have to be everything, of course, that would be really like a long process, but just a few tables and chairs and stuff like that from expansions that you have. And like, you know, we got the add frame and change frame color for all the photo frames. Something like that, I believe, could be added to the things you crafted with the woodworking table. I bet that's possible. It's just not something that's of that much of importance, but I would like to see that. The next one is a build thing, and I know we did get a huge stairs overhaul, but there are still a couple of things that really need to happen that would just make my builder soul so happy. Those are diagonal staircases and like any kind of editing to staircase railing. Like, I remember that in The Sims 2 we could push a button and just apply the railing to one side of the staircase or both, and that was like 10 plus years ago, 2 games ago. I don't know why it hasn't been done yet, because in so many of the build features in The Sims 4 we can hold shift and only apply something to one wall or stuff like that, and the fact that it hasn't happened with staircases just is really bothering me. I would also love to see like few more of the fences turned into railings and stuff like that, to have just a little bit more variety. But the most important thing would be the railing options for me, and especially now with all the stair tools that we have, I would sometimes really want to have railing just on one part of the staircase, even like if you have corner just on one side, just the bottom part, something like that, and I would just love to hold shift and make that happen. And the last one is kind of 2 things, kind of 1 thing, but NPCs being obsessed with coffee and tea machines. And this was pointed out in the tweet too, and it is something that is really annoying. I have experienced it myself a lot. If you have a coffee machine or a tea machine and you invite someone over, they will make coffee, and that's kind of okay, but they will grab coffee, not drink it, and leave it on a surface somewhere, and that is really annoying, especially when the Sims also have a tendency to just leave plates and mugs in such stupid places. I had just yesterday a Sim go from a kitchen to the 2nd floor to a balcony just to put a plate on a half wall like topping, like just leave it there. There was a sink in the kitchen. Like, please clean it up, or at least put it on the kitchen counter. It makes no sense. I don't think you should be able to put things on the half walls anyway. Like, you don't necessarily need that function. And it has happened to me so many times that I've used a half wall in a build, then I play in it, and the Sims are like something smelly, and I've spent like hours like thinking my game is broken. It's not. It's a single plate on some stupid half wall just rotting away. Yeah, so NPCs especially, but also your plate Sims leaving their dishes everywhere and in the most stupid places. So yeah, that is my list of things I would like to see improved in The Sims 4. And if you want to see a video about things I'd like to be added, let me know, because it's definitely also a topic I would like to talk about, and especially like about a chemistry system or different kind of attraction systems, or more things like that added to cast and added to chemistry between the Sims that I would really love to have. I think that was such a huge part of the previous games that we are still missing. So let me know if you would like to see me talk about that. And yeah, that is it. I will link this tweet down below. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I pretty often ask for things you want to see in a new video and stuff like that, so go there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!